All right, Windy. All right, Windy. No, it's Water Wednesdays. I do have a scheduled change for next week, but this week it's Water Wednesdays. Look for an announcement, by the way. I'm going to shift the schedule a little bit. But Water Wednesdays, Scorpio. Scorpio, we're starting with you. Welcome, Scorpio. You are first up today. It is my absolute pleasure to read for your highest good and highest outcome. That is my goal. That is my intention. And I'm happy to do it. So welcome, Scorpio. So glad to see you. Being first up's a double-edged sword. I'll probably misspeak several times. It's also a retrograde season, so of Mercury, and it does have a tendency to make me fumble. So it'll be a fun one for you. Anyway, I'm glad you're here. I've got a plethora of cards. So I think we're going to just dive right in. I feel like we're going to dive right in with the Baroque Tarot. One of my favorites. Just in general, I like it. So we'll get into this tarot real quick here. Excuse me. Man alive. Anyway, let's get into it, Scorpio. Baroque Tarot. All right. 3 cards for general energy. We'll be clarifying with something and so on and such as is the protocol, Scorpio. You've seen it before. You know what's going to happen. Kicking it off right now with the Ace of Swords. Okay, truth revealed. We've got the 7 of Wands. Some defensive energy. And we have the 8 of Wands. Okay, so some clear communication coming in, some redirection of passions. 7 going to the 8. Okay, underlying the deck is the High Priestess. Scorpio. Okay, the inner knowing, your gut instinct, your intuition. I think that basically this truth, I feel like this is a truth you've already known for a long time. Clear communication revealing a truth. It's something you've known for a long time and you've been on the defensive about, and things are starting to shift and communication is starting to come in, and passions are starting to align. So I think the truth revealed is something that you've already known for a long time and things are starting to shift. So you're seemingly poised to get out of this defensive energy, I feel, which is good. Love that. I think we're going to go ahead and clarify with just the Magic Seer Tarot. Borderless Rider. It's classic. Just Rider. Ride or die. You know what I'm saying? Rider-Waite-Smith. All right. Still a classic, for sure. Okay, let's get some clarification on the Ace of Swords for you, Scorpio. Ace of Swords. All right, one more shuffle here, and we'll get right into it, Scorpio. All right, my friends. We got the 6 of Wands. This is victory. This is emerging victorious from battle, right? Yeah, that's like I was saying. I feel like you're something that you've known already is being vindicated in some way. We've got the 8 of Cups, walking away from what does not serve you. It's an act of empowerment, and we have the Emperor. Okay, I feel like, underlying the deck here is the 5 of Wands. So we kind of got the 5, 6, 7, 8 thing going on. These conflicts are over. I feel like you've kind of walked away from these conflicts, of course, with that 8 of Cups. Like, you kind of made a stand on this thing, and you're like, you know what, I'm not gonna argue about this anymore. I'm not gonna debate this anymore. I'm just gonna, I'll be over here. I'll be over here. It's an act of empowerment, and I kind of feel like it puts you in a bit of an Emperor energy, Scorpio. I feel like that's your energy. A very confident and balanced divine masculine energy about this truth. This could be a lot of things. This could be a lot of things, but I almost wonder if it has anything to do with anything political, you know. Maybe something politically you're feeling vindicated about. I'm not really sure yet. Let's get and I don't know if it's with the 8 of Cups there. You know, could be friends, could be family, could be coworkers. It could be a lot of different people. but I feel like, yeah, you kind of decided, no, I'm moving. I'm just going to get away from this. I'll be over here. Anyway. And, you know, I guess the Emperor energy is kind of interesting that way because that is Aries, ruled by Mars. And, you know, Mars is the god of war. I mean, Emperor is not one to walk away from things, typically. However, the Emperor embodies the energy of all four kings in the tarot, and I think that one of them being the King of Swords, mastery of communication. Sometimes you know when it's best. It's like you can win sometimes you have to walk away from a battle to win a war, you know what I mean? And being the god of war, you'd have mastery over that. So Scorpio, I do feel like still that's your energy, even though it seemingly was a little contradictory. I don't believe that. 8 of Cups can definitely jive with the Emperor. So, but let's get some clarification on the 7 of Wands here, this defensive energy. It's also it's called Lord of Valor in the Hermetic Tarot. So valor, bravery, defensiveness, but it's bold. It's boldly defending something. So anyway, we got the 5 of Swords. Regarding the 7 of Wands, we have the 5 of Swords. Conflicts leading to separation. It's similar to the 5 of Wands in that there's a conflict, but this is a little more of a extreme outcome. Harsh words being exchanged, leading to some separation. Okay. We have the Knight of Wands. Something you're very passionate about. Whatever this is something you're very, very passionate about. Then we have the Star. Is it called? It's this Aquarian energy. It's a call for some spiritual healing, perhaps. Also, your wishes. Something that you've been deeply interested in your core. You know, the star is the wish upon the star kind of thing. Like, I feel like the conflict is just aligning you closer to your deeper desires. Underlying the deck is the 3 of Swords. I almost called it 3 of Hearts. Underlying is the 3 of Swords with the big old heart on it. And the swords going through. Some heartache. This was definitely a painful... this was a painful clash. Certainly. And it could have been... I don't know why politics... It seems political. And you know how that gets. It's heated, right? I mean... It's almost like the 3 big taboos are like politics, religion, and diet of all things, right? I don't know. Maybe there's maybe you or maybe there's other people that are, I don't know, vegan or hell, maybe they're carnivore, maybe they're, you know, there's those extremes of those aspects of things, and people get very passionate about it because of the, you know, the improvements in health, and then they feel like this is the way, this is the truth, you know, this is the life, this gives you life. This way of eating prolongs your life. I don't know. But I do feel like that whole situation was very painful. There's healing. I feel like there's healing coming, though, which is kind of why it's almost a past, present, future kind of thing. I feel like we're going into this 8 of Wands, which is that communication being redirected, right? And then those passions being aligned. It's quick movement as well. So somebody's going to have if your conflict, I feel, is either... I mean, it's like the other person's going to have an aha moment about it and maybe even come with an apology. It's hard to say. But let's get some clarification on the 8 of Wands for you, Scorpio. My good Scorpionic friends. All right, I'm going to do one more shuffle here and we'll get into it. All right, regarding the 8 of Wands, we got the Queen of Swords. Yeah, I mean, she's sharp, she's perceptive, and she doesn't take bullshit, so... That's interesting. All right. We have the 8 of Swords. So feeling of being trapped, right? Blind and bound and unable to move forward because these swords are like other people's communication or ideas being imposed around you. Yeah, feeling like you don't have, it's a sense of having no freedom, really. And we have the 7 of Cups. Options abound. So this stuck feeling is illusory. Underlying the deck is the Ace of Pentacles. So there is a new opportunity on the horizon. with the resolve. And I think the Eight of Wands that we're clarifying is sort of presenting that. What you're not seeing maybe right now is the idea that you do have choices. You do have choices, but you feel like you don't, because there's some kind of imposition. There's a call to be sharp. I mean, the Queen of Swords is actually pretty intuitive. She's very clever, and can see what's going on. She can see injustices, and she's very, very compelled to deal with injustices without hesitation. And almost, the caveat is like she can be a little bit overly aggressive with that sword of communication. That's really what it seems like to me, is like maybe this, I feel like you're sort of in the Emperor position still, Scorpio, but this Queen of Swords almost maybe feels like the other person, where they're like, well, if you don't agree with me, then you can't, you're not my friend, and we can't, you have to agree with me or I'm cutting you out, that kind of thing. And that's literally her swords, like the communication is what makes you feel trapped. Like maybe you don't feel like you could be your authentic self in that situation, right? But you have choices. You have choices, and maybe that's part of it. It's like with the Eight of Wands that we're clarifying, I kind of feel like it's almost an energy of like needing to call a bluff in a sense. You don't have to be a dick about it, but you have choices, and you always have choices, and that is one of the things I feel that like is so difficult. Just the energy in the air. This day and age is like, there seems to be a lot of energy of feeling like we've lost our autonomy or our freedom in many ways. We're going through a very, very unique time in history right now that's changing the course of humanity in a very significant way. It's not a small thing. It's not a small thing. And I think, again, I don't know why the political thing keeps coming up in my head, but that may be the crux of it for you, Scorpio, is you're on one side of a fence, and you feel strongly about it, and somebody else is on another side of the fence and feels strongly about it, and that can create a lot of tension, of course. I think all that the cards are saying here is that you do have the opportunity. The Queen of Swords is trying to bind you with ultimatums in a sense. She's saying, her swords are all planted around you. Like, you have to operate in the way I view the world, right? The swords again are communication and ideas and mental energy. And she's sort of saying like, she's establishing her ideas of a framework all the way around you and basically saying, no, you have to trust my vision and you have to trust my choice of actions. But you're meant to just follow my lead and you have to stay in these boundaries that I've established. And I feel like that you don't. And this, Scorpio. Well, deep down in your heart of hearts, you know this. You're not obligated. So, choices, certainly. New opportunities. Every sword in life is double-edged. So, every choice you make has a consequence. And so, relationally, there's a consequence, of course. Or going with the flow can really, one of the consequences of that is sort of can be a loss of autonomy in a lot of ways, Scorpio. So that's not a small decision to make, it's certainly not. But we'll go ahead and get a potential outcome for you, Scorpio. Let's get an outcome for you. Yes, the Ace of Swords, the beginning of the reading, the truth. That's a double-edged sword. We want everything to be sunshine and rainbows in life, and truth is seldom ever that cut and dry. There's such a strong energy of like binary thinking right now with like us and them, in the air. It's in the ether, and it's like there's not really an us and them. We're all one thing, but the other edge of that sword is simply the fact that if we're all one thing, we have to respect and appreciate other people's space. Even if their ideas seem totally wrong to you, it's like there still has to be space for that to exist. I don't know. I mean, maybe I hope I'm not just hijacking your reading, Scorpio, but I do feel like that's kind of it. It's a smaller reflection of a bigger issue that I think we're all going through, but you may very specifically be dealing with this. So I'm hoping that I'm not interjecting too much. One of your potential outcome cards here is Strength. And take a look. So this is strength in the external world, but I like the way that it's being so peaceably done. She tames the lion with peace. You know, this flowery woman has tamed the lion with diplomacy in a sense. Okay, that's Leo energy. It's also, again, just a card of general... I always do that. Sorry, Hangman is on the bottom, and I always get disoriented when I see it, ironically. But yes, there's a diplomatic way forward. And again, as an emperor, in that emperor energy, Scorpio, you definitely have all four. You've got the King of Swords, but you also have the King of Pentacles, you know, and that's a peaceable king. King of Cups, mastery of emotion, you know, King of Wands, persistence and steadfastness in the face of adversity and mastery of your passions. So you are exhibiting a great deal of masculine strength, and that's not gender specific. We all have masculine and feminine energies within us. And so regardless, this is just really that aspect of your personhood being in a very healthy place, Scorpio. So this is good. Now, let's get 2 more cards for your potential outcome here, and we'll talk about it. All right. Let's go. We have the Three of Pentacles. So there's work that needs to be done. Kind of a restructuring and rebuilding. This is about material projects as well. We saw the Ace of Pentacles earlier when your kind of options situation. Three of Pentacles is about collaboration and work. Excuse me, goodness sakes, this is getting ridiculous. And we have the King of Swords. The King of Swords is not obstructed by their emotions. Excuse me, good Lord. Man, they are... okay, sorry. Sorry, Scorpio. The King of Swords can look at situations logically and rationally and not let their emotions or passions interfere. So you're seeing it's a strong sense of clarity in a situation and discernment in a situation. This is a card like interpreting a situation and communicating and behaving in a very rational way. So in terms of interacting with other people and seeing things as they are, there's a tremendous amount of power here and wisdom. Wisdom comes to mind. Yeah. Underlying the deck is the Fool. Which is the beginning of a major arcana. It's the new cycle, right? The new cycle of a new chapter in your life, you know, and there's a lot of optimism within that. I think the optimism is available to you. It's there for you. The Fool is an Aquarius energy as well. So we have the Star and the Fool here. I think basically, Scorpio, you're learning to tap into what you really want, and kind of insist on it, and kind of engage the conflicts in a peaceable way, you know, and that may it's going to cause tension. I feel like there will be some energy of walking away or removal. Sometimes things need to be removed from our lives for us to move forward, and it's not always something we have control over. I think most of this, it really feels to me like the conflict energy, the Queen of Swords energy, is sort of kind of making that decision for you. You know, it feels like an ultimatum being presented, and it's sort of like you're just, in a way, just kind of being rejected for being yourself, for being authentically yourself in a situation. And they're the ones kind of making the choice to reject you in a sense, but they're sort of, I feel like it's being spun as if it's your, you know, your thing, right? But ultimatums that regard aspects of our authenticity are genuinely pretty manipulative, you know, generally speaking. So I think Scorpio, I think you just need to sort of stand in your power in a sense. I noticed that's what I was thinking about when I saw this combination of Strength and the Emperor hanging out together. The Emperor is sitting. You know, it is a warring king in a sense, but the Emperor is sitting on a throne there. Very fiery energy, of course. We have all of the solar plexus energy and some sacral energy and some root energy represented in the colors. And then we have the Strength card, which is Leo. So we've got these two fires, but I like the way they're being presented in that the Emperor is sitting in their authority, and Strength is this display of power in the external world through very peaceable means. So I think that's a big key, Scorpio, to this conflict, is that you simply stand in your authenticity in a peaceable way, and don't really let people try to force you into things. Okay, let them do what they're gonna do, I suppose. So Scorpio, that's what I have for you. Thank you so much for being here. If this resonated and you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. Hit the like button if you like the video, of course. And more importantly than all that, I wish you the best of luck with this energy this week. I hope you have a fantastic and beautiful week. And I'll see you next time, Scorpio. Yes. Water Wednesdays. Until then, have a beautiful week.